Hey, it's Paris. You know I love sparkly things, right? Like stars. Duh. And thanks to Hilton and AutoCamp, I just slept under them. Picture me, serving looks by the fire outside my luxurious Airstream, making s'mores with the kids, while a national park is our backdrop. The great outdoors meets Hilton hospitality. That's hot. Explore all the new ways to stay at Hilton.com. Hilton for the stay.
With a major selection of the looks your kiddos love, starting at just $4 in the Walmart app, a new school year means a stylish new them. Who knew? Find skater skirts and Crocs that say, I'm casual but cool. Sparkly sneakers that say, it's my classroom, you're just learning in it. And preppy polos that say, I'm the teacher's pet, even if they're mommy's menace at home. Find their favorite styles starting at just $4 in the app. The Walmart you thought you knew is now new.
And I also gave him $200 during the time that I was there for a personal loan that he borrowed.
You've been there like 20 minutes?
Yes.
What was a personal loan for? What was the emergency?
This is the plaintiff, Arnita Stokes. She says she rented a room from the defendant and only lived in it for a week or two. Things didn't work out between them, and when she moved out, the defendant refused to give her back her unused rent or security deposit. Guy's acting like a big jerk, and that's why she's suing him here and now for the $700 she's owed. This is the defendant, Robert Medina. He says the plaintiff seemed very trustworthy when he met her, but things changed quickly. The woman tried sneaking her granddaughter into the room to live with her, and it became uncomfortable for everyone. The plaintiff ended up leaving after 15 days. She wasted his time, lied to him, and is owed nothing. He's accused of rotten renting. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $600 for the security he returned.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Milian in our forum, the People's Court.
Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome,
Arnita Stokes, you are suing Robert Medina, your former landlord, for $700 that you say he still owes you for returned rent and moving expenses. You are counterclaiming against her $600 for a security deposit. What happened between you two?
Okay, I was looking for a place on Craigslist, and I found his ad, and I went to meet him. And on March 17th, on that day, he told me that the rent was $600 a month and $600 security. And this was March 17th, and if I paid him on that day, I wouldn't have to pay the rest of March. We would start the next month's rent from April until
You mean
May.
from May, right? Because if you're
sorry.
moving in March and you're paying first month's rent and it's going to count for April.
I'm
and
sorry.
then the security deposit, you mean I wouldn't have to pay again until May 1st,
That's
right?
correct.
Is that the agreement? What was the agreement?
My agreement was to Arnita Stokes is I would give her a few days extra. I think it's like 10 days or 15 days. I don't have the
time in
exact
March.
dates. Right.
Right.
As
So
a
then the
courtesy.
first month's rent would start being used up from April 1st.
No.
Okay, that is what you just said. So if it's different, explain.
It's not that it's different. It's just that the amount of time that she's saying from the time it just says you can move in, let it start.
When was it going to start from? First month's rent was going to start from when?
Well, let's just say April. Might as well.
Well, why don't we just say what your version is? Why don't we just say the truth? What is the truth?
That is the truth, I guess.
Well,
so.
then so then it starts, so that first month's rent was going to be used
Yeah,
up
as
in
a
April.
courtesy, you're right. Yes.
Right,
yes,
right, okay.
Yes.
So that first month's rent was going to be in April. The other $600 was security deposit, and then the next time you'd pay rent would be May 1st.
Right.
Okay, and then what happens?
On the 17th, I paid him $1,200 cash. On the 23rd, I came with my clothes to move in. He had 2 other people sleeping in the living room at that time who he said were going to leave in a few days. So I said, okay, and I spent the night. And then the next day I left and I stayed gone for about 3 or 4 days. And then I came back and those people left the next day.
Okay.
So I wasn't there for the entire time. That was my point, actually.
Okay. So what day did you actually move in?
I would say the 23rd, about the 26th or the 27th.
Okay. And then what happens?
On April 1st, I broke my arm. So
How'd you break your arm?
I was coming out of a store and I fell.
Okay.
And I broke my arm in 2 places, in the humerus 2 places, and in the ulna in 1 place. I have those papers. And so my granddaughter came over to help me because I couldn't get in and out of the shower. It was my left arm. I am right-handed. But
Did you have a cast?
I did. I had a cast.
Is this your granddaughter?
No.
No, that's your daughter.
In-law.
In-law. Okay. Your granddaughter's name? How old's your granddaughter?
She's 19.
Okay.
So she came over to help me because I only had 1 arm. So he tells...
Was she staying with you?
No, she stayed 1 night.
Okay.
The next morning, which was April 3rd, because I left on April 4th. The next morning he says, oh, I told you no one could move in here. I said, she's not moving in. She just came to help me because I broke my arm. And he says, and anyway, Jamie and I, that's his daughter, he says, discussed it. And she makes Jamie uncomfortable. So we decided, Jamie and I, that you need to move. You need to leave. So I said, you know what? No problem. I said, because any place where my granddaughter is not welcome, I don't need to be. He said, fine, give me my keys. Took his keys, did not allow me to have anyone come and help me to get my things. He said, I'll pack your things. You just leave.
But that's not, you have a right as a tenant to not have him do that.
He packed my things.
Well,
He
I
threw
know,
my
but
things
you have
in
a
the
right
shelter.
to say no. You're giving me my notice. I have 30 days from the time you give me my notice. I mean, I know you don't want to be there, but.
Right. I had 1 arm. His language and his attitude
And
said,
he's tall.
Yeah, said, Nita, just go.
Okay.
You don't need this, just leave. And that's what I did on April 4th.
Okay.
And so
So what are you suing for? Because he gave you back some money, right?
he did.
What did he give you?
Okay, he gave me $600.
That's it?
And he gave me $600 on April 6th, which is a Saturday when I came to get my things. And I don't have the date. Maybe he still has his receipt that he gave me $240. And that's what he gave me. And I also gave him $200 during the time that I was there for a personal loan that he borrowed.
You've
Yes,
been
he
there
did.
like 20 minutes?
Yes, yes.
What was a personal loan for? What was the emergency?
I don't know.
He didn't tell you?
No.
Okay, what's going on, Mr. Medina?
During the time of March, my daughter and I decided to rent one of our rooms from our 3-room and bedroom apartment. We put an ad on Craigslist. Arnita Stokes replied to the ad. She'll sit over the phone. I'm black. Is that okay? So look, I'm not
I'm
even
black? Is
asking
that okay?
Yeah, she's telling me that on the
Did
phone.
you seriously
so.
say that over the
No.
phone?
Yeah, she did say that. So I said, just come over. She came over. She was very nice. She was very presentable. And she was, trustworthy.
What does that even mean? She was very presentable.
I'm just saying that she mentioned that to me. So if that comes up later or whatever, this is some words on the phone.
Okay.
I'm coming from the Bronx, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
I said, no problem. Just let me meet you. We'll go from there with my daughter and I and see
How
if
old's
you're
your
right.
daughter?
She's 13.
Okay.
Arnita Stokes was very kind. Even when she got there, she's there more than 2 weeks before she even decided to give my daughter a loan towards some book supplies that she needed for her art supplies. She's an artist. Beside that,
Yeah, but who told her I need $200? Did you ask her for $200?
My daughter did, as
school
an
supply?
advance towards her
Your daughter's
following months.
13. So did you ask?
She asked me to ask her.
To ask her
right,
for
exactly,
$200 as an
right.
advance. So you were falling on some hard times, right? about
Absolutely,
there.
absolutely.
Okay. So did she really break her arm?
Oh, I'm glad we're going there.
Yeah, let's
this
go
is
there.
the greatest
So she
thing
has
to
a
happen.
cast on her arm.
No, she's in a sling. She calls me from the emergency room saying that she slipped in White Castles.
Okay.
When I get there, okay, no problem. I help her, gentleman, bring her home. And before she slipped in White Castles, which is 2 weeks after she was there, her granddaughter already slept in the apartment. She's already been sleeping over. I'm just going to have a guest.
How many times did her granddaughter sleep there?
It's got to be more than 5 times. Liar, liar, pants on fire. Okay, here. This is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do here, okay? 1 second. after she supposedly breaks her arm and she gets counsel, now I need my granddaughter to stay with me because I have nobody to help me. When I mentioned to her about, okay, like this is getting out of hand, she's here every day, you're not even asking for permission anymore, the bathroom is a total wreck. Her and her daughter decides to do the march. Chomp, chomp, the march of soldiers. Walking out of there, we don't know you no more, throw the coats over her arm. They're gone for 2 days. Vanish, out of sight, out of mind. Call me up saying, well, you better have my stuff ready. Outside, out my door, ready, packed up, put it back in the van, arrange the van, and I'm sorry for raising my voice, and that's the way we want it, and have my money here, or else such and such and such and such, or you'll get this, and that, and that.
What's the this, and that, and that?
Well, you know, trying to tell me that somebody's going to come and hurt me, in that sense. That's what I'm trying to say. So I didn't pay that no mind.
What were her words?
Well, you know, they're just like real subtle, so I just can't bring it word for word. But, so I comply to what she's saying. And I have her stuff ready. She does not return the keys. I did not give her $600. I gave her $1,100.
Do you have proof of what you gave her?
I got her receipt right here that she gave it to me outside.
Can I have that?
Right? And I have a written statement from my daughter that was a witness with her friend, and she's holding the $100 bills like this in her hand. And I decided to give her another $250
Did you have a
at the
lease?
train.
Did you have a lease,
No.
a written lease? Okay.
No, but I have our agreement here, and I have his signature here on the papers.
There's a receipt here that purports to be signed by you that says that he gave you $1,100.
Well, here's my signature. I don't know what that is.
Well, let's
but-
see.
Okay, this is my signature.
Let's trade papers.
And this is my signature again with his signature giving me $600
Okay.
on the 6th, on the Saturday, the day that I moved out.
Did you sign this?
No.
You already saw it?
No, but I know I didn't sign it because he never gave me $1,100. And I have text here admitting to what he owes me, where he texts me.
Well, hand
if
those
you'd
over.
like to see that.
Hand those over. But first, I want you to look at that.
Well, as you can see, that's not my signature.
No, it doesn't look like your signature. In
Ray
fact,
Charles
it's the
could see
opposite
that.
A. Some people do an A like this,
That's
and
not
some
my-
people do an A like that, and it's the wrong A.
Well, she was there with another person, and she flipped that over her shoulder to me that day.
That's not my signature,
Yeah, she says
please.
you're forging this, that what you gave her
Yeah.
was a $600.
He knows that's not my signature. You're going to see the text where he
I
says what
see
he
all the
owes
other
me.
places where your signature is. Your A is the different type of A. It's not
Thank you.
that A. And now you're showing me texts from April 6th. By April 6th, you were out, right?
That's the day I left. I came back to get my things.
I will give you money for your car service, $140. You then send him a text on April 26th saying, waiting to hear from you today regarding the $540 you promised to pay today. Thank you. Why is it $540?
It's really $560 because I actually gave him $1,400, right? Including the $200 personal loan. He gave me $600, which left $800. He did give me $240 in the train station one day, I don't have the date, which left $560. So I was wrong, I was off $20.
Okay, and
So-
then he responds, I will give you $540, comes to $1,140, which, how could it be any clearer that this is a forgery? When
A forgery
you're
on her
saying,
half, because I'm going to tell you
no,
why.
no,
I'm going to tell
how's
you
this
why.
a forgery on
Your
her
Honor,
half when
listen to
you
me.
gave it to me?
Your Honor,
I have you on April 6th after she's moved
Okay.
out saying that I will give you
Because
$540.
I'm gonna
That
tell
comes
you,
to
I'm gonna tell you
$1,140.
exactly what it is.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. Do you always sign your name the same way?
Actually, no. Sometimes like the R's bigger, sometimes letters are all curvy looking, and so it's always different from the way I do it.
Fair enough. How about you?
No, sometimes it looks like my brother signed it for me.
Real? That's really interesting. What about you?
No, I don't.
So it's different every time?
Different every time.
I'm shocked. You don't have like a thing?
You know, there's little things that you always have, like in your signature, like the big part.
Right. But it changes.
Yeah.
Interesting. Going inside the courtroom.
I got confused on the whole thing from the original thing. From the original
Oh, you forgot you
payment.
gave her $1,100?
Right, because she was like, look, I was just so upset what was going on. She had my head all in a frenzy. It was like, you know, having me, like, threatening me, and the way she was dealing with this, I just wanted this lady to leave.
Okay.
Didn't even realize, okay, you're going to something, she's really lying to the court. I paid this woman this money, plus additional $240.
So I should just ignore your text where you acknowledge that you didn't pay her more than $600.
You know what happened? what happened was I didn't even realize between what was going on and her kept nagging me for more money for moving expenses. I just started writing things that I didn't even comprehend to what I was dealing with.
That's what I should do. I should just ignore it. So I should look at this and I should say, well, basically, your defense is, who are you going to believe, Judge, me or your lying eyes?
Okay.
Because I'm looking at your text where you acknowledge that you basically are saying that this is a forgery, because in here you've got
it's a forgery
signature
from
that
her.
No, it's not. This didn't even come from her. You made this up in order to pretend that you paid $1,100, because I see the text after she moved out where you're specifically saying, okay, that'll take us to $1,140, which you wouldn't have said that if you'd already paid her $1,100. You would say that if you'd only paid her $600 by then. Okay?
I'll tell you where the 600 comes up.
I don't want to hear another word from you,
No, but you
because
have to
I
hear
wouldn't believe if your tongue came notarized. Now, why are you suing for not just the $560 that you say you're owed, but an additional $140 when the $560 already includes the $140? Doesn't it?
Does it? No.
No?
No.
All right, let me see the
does
math. Oh, the $560 would be, so you don't want to pay for any time that you lived there.
Okay.
Why would that be fair?
No. I figured that was going to come up, and I'm willing to pay the $150 for the week.
Why would it be $150 for the week? What were you paying, $600?
Yes, and I'll tell you how that came up. I was walking down the street and decided to go to small claims court, and the $700 as a round number came in, and I figured we would make that adjustment, and I'm good with that. I'm not trying to get anything he doesn't owe me at all.
So
I just want what he owes. And
$560 would be everything back.
$560?
No, stop. Would be all of the rent back, plus $140 that I see in the text. He agrees if you get out to pay your moving expenses.
Right.
That's $700.
Right.
But you should have to pay something for the time you were there.
If we take away the $150.
Which is 1 week's rent, and then that would leave a remaining $550.
There you go. Yes.
You have a counterclaim against her for $600 for security deposit. What's that about?
All right. So I call up the local precinct, right? And I'm trying to find out exactly where I stand with somebody that doesn't return her keys, right? And she's moving out of the apartment. I have the stuff ready for her. I moving for her. And they said, legally, I didn't have to give her back her money because she broke whatever agreement we had. I didn't throw this woman out.
So you got your legal advice from the police precinct
Not
on a civil
legal like
matter?
that. They says this is how it should be, because they said you're not throwing her out on the street. Right? She's moving out on her own.
According to you, he told you your granddaughter can't be here, and you needed your granddaughter to be there, so...
I understand about double occupancy. I didn't have a problem with that. I said she just came over to spend one night with me to help me.
Okay.
My granddaughter's
let me just ask a question, okay? Let me just ask a question. All right? Why are you counterclaiming for $600? You want back the $600 you paid her? Because you don't feel like you should have paid that.
You know, if anybody should be compensated.
Answer the question, because you just realized how you botched it.
Yes,
well, if you gave her $1,100, why would you only sue for $600 back?
Because I'm just being
liar,
nice. I'm being
liar,
nice. No.
pants on fire.
Oh, wow, you're doing it to me. Sorry.
I rule in favor of the plaintiff in this case in the amount of $550. Pay the lady. Zero on your counterclaim.
So good. All right, so come on in here, and I'll just leave it open to you now to...
Liar, pants on fire.
Yeah.
No, she's
like
really lying,
like
and they think I'm lying. It's not right. It's just the way...
How come you can't get your thoughts straight with the lady, and, she got you all discombobulated? And
I'm really lucky to meet you.
All right,
That's all I
thanks
got to say.
Okay,
really
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, same here. All right, so step on in here. You got this guy all confused.
He's confused.
Yeah. How did you confuse him that much?
He's a confused person.
Yeah, okay.
It has nothing to do with me. He's a confused person. He's a liar, and he's desperate. And that's what happens.
He's trying to just get what? Desperate for what?
For money, attention, whatever. I mean, like the judge saw straight through it, which I'm very happy about.
Well, why'd you move in there?
Well, I was just coming back to New York, and I needed a place, and so I rented one.
He was okay then.
Well, you don't know people until you get to live with them. Is that right? You heard about that?
Harvey?
Rarely does a judge absolutely bust a litigant and prove the litigant is a liar, but the judge did exactly that with the defendant. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case are the way into the courtroom right now.
This episode is brought to you by Nespresso and Samra Origins by the Weekend Coffee Collection.
Introducing Samra Origins. My collaboration with Nespresso is a connection to my roots, to my mother, Samra. Coffee that hits the right notes. It transports you. Crafted with unique notes and bold, soaring flavors. Experience a taste that moves you. Nespresso and Samra Origins.
Discover more at Nespresso.com.
Introducing the perfect companion to your morning listening routine. AG1's clinically backed formula is now flavor-packed with 3 new delicious flavors: tropical, berry, and citrus. Start the day on a high note with probiotics that taste like the tropics. Mix it up with micronutrients that taste like berry or citrus. And take it all the way back with the classic, AG1 Original, with notes of pineapple and vanilla. Do your health a flavor, or 4, with AG1 Next Gen, the daily health drink. Learn more at drinkag1.com.
This is the plaintiff, James Forkin. He says he gave the defendant his son's ATV to sell almost a year ago. He never sold it and now won't give it back. That's right, the defendant told him the thing was impounded by the cops, but won't tell him where it is or how to get it out. He doesn't know who he's dealing with because he's not going to just walk away and let the defendant get away with stealing from him. And he's suing the louse for the $2,000 he's owed. This is the defendant, Frank Kelly. He says the cops took the ATV and impounded it. He called the plaintiff and told him he needed the proper registration to get the ATV back, but the guy told him he didn't have any papers. 2 days later, the plaintiff called him on the phone drunk and screaming to pay him $2,000. Huh? If he had the proper papers, they wouldn't be here and he'd have his ATV back. He's accused of taking a guy for a ride.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the plaintiff says the defendant has essentially stolen his son's ATV. The defendant agreed to sell it and now is all squirrely. And the defendant says the cops impounded it. It's the case of no terrain vehicle.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, James and Thomas Forkin?
Right.
And you have power of attorney?
Yes.
Okay. You are who?
James.
Okay. You're suing Frank Kelly for $2,000, the cost of a quad, an ATV
right,
that you put in his care in order to sell, and he managed to get impounded. Tell me what happened.
Correct. Back in November, my son got in trouble with the police, and he's owned these quads and dirt bikes and stuff for many years, and Mr. Kelly is a friend of my son's and stuff, so when the problem happened with my son with jail and stuff, Mr. Kelly came to my house like 2 or 3 days after the affair with the police and stuff. He says, Mr. Forkin, if there's anything I can do to help you, just let me know, and we'll see how I can help you. My son had a quad downstairs. Mr. Kelly says, I can sell it for you. So I says, Frank, get me $1,000 for it. It's yours.
How much?
$1,000 for the one that we sold. And I give Mr. Kelly $100. He didn't want it, but I said, here, take it for doing the work for me. Fine. So my son had this quad that he bought in Jersey about 2 months before this all happened. And he says, I think I can sell that one too for you, Mr. Fork. I said, all right, good, Frank. I said, I need $2,000. That's what my son paid for it. He said, I'll get rid of it for you. That was the second week in December, probably. So he takes the quad, he put it in my truck, he has a storage shed in the town local to us. We bring it to his shed, his storage shell, and we leave it there. That was like the second week in December. And then like the whole winter goes by, and I don't hear nothing from Mr. Kelly. I call Mr. Kelly many times. I still have his phone number in my phone. Call him, no answer, no answer, no answer, no answer. Finally, I know in the springtime he works for my nephew mowing lawns and stuff. I says, Wayne, is Mr. Kelly working for you this year? Oh, yeah. I said, I want to come see him. So I come see him at his job, approach him.
Surprise?
Excuse me?
Like, did you surprise him because you thought he was avoiding you?
Oh, yeah. It was a big surprise because he says, oh, I don't get your phone calls. So I rang on my phone right in front of him. Bam, it happens to ring in his hand. I said, that's amazing. It works today, but all right, it's working today. So I approached him. I said, Frank, what are we going to do with the quad? Where is it? I don't have it. Oh, I don't have it. Oh, where is it? I says, he got it impounded. I said, you got it impounded? By who? The state, the county, the town? I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? It says right on the top of the letterhead what organization has the quad. The county, the state, the town, somebody's name.
Yeah, but why would it go to him? Are these quads registered?
He was the one riding it when he got caught.
Caught riding it?
Caught riding it.
So it was impounded from his person?
I guess from him being on it, wherever he was, on the road, the trails, wherever he was, the organization that impounded it took it from him.
They say, do quads get registered or no?
Sometimes yes, sometimes
was this
no.
One?
This one wasn't registered.
So nobody's sending a letter anywhere. So the only way you'd know is if you got stopped and you read the guy's uniform or accepted the paperwork from him when they took it from you. What happened to the quad?
What happened to the quad was he's absolutely correct about everything. And that night there was a snowstorm, so a whole bunch of us decided to go.
The night that it got impounded?
Yes.
Okay.
And when we had the big 36 inches of snow in New York. So we all went riding. Something happened. I guess it fouled out. And then we came back like 10 minutes later to come get it. The quad wasn't where we had left it.
Where'd you go for 10 minutes?
To my buddy's house to get a truck to go get the quad. Okay. Because it was on the side of 112.
I don't think it was 10 minutes, but go on.
Literally, it was right up the street.
No,
right up the street.
They're not that efficient.
Up the street.
Yeah, no, they're not that efficient to come and take it. Where were you? Were you in the middle of the street because you could be because it was 36 inches?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All right, so then you leave it there, and then probably the plow comes, and then it sees it, and then it calls. That's probably what happened. But anyway, so go on.
When we came back in 10 minutes, the quad was
Who's we, by the way?
One of my friends.
Do you have an affidavit from him, or is he here to testify?
Negative.
Okay, go on.
And we came back. It wasn't where we left it. When we came back out of his block onto 112, the quad was right there. When
has the government ever been this efficient? That in 10 minutes, they'd managed to impound the quad. You know that what you're telling me cannot be 100% truthful.
So is this defendant responsible for the quad?
Yes, but people do make mistakes. He should have been a little more careful, but yes,
He's responsible. Responsible?
Yes, responsible. Totally. His fault.
He's guilty.
Can I just ask, what's the thing here?
We're a girl group. We're a girl group. You can find us at urbanextremecrew.com. That's extreme with an X.
Yeah. Okay. We're singing and dancing all around. So yeah.
Interesting. Okay, going inside the courtroom.
So it's impounded, and what happens?
I don't know if the quad. When we seen the cops there, we left. Just like that, we left. You
didn't go see the cops and say, "What are you doing? This is my quad." Blah blah blah.
Absolutely not.
Why not?
Because you're fit to get in trouble.
Excuse me. I've been doing this without you my entire career. Okay, try that again. Why not?
Because you're just bound to get into trouble.
Why? Because you're riding it in a place where you can't ride it?
Well, no, because at that point, the snow makes it legal to ride.
So then why wouldn't you just walk up?
Because, why wouldn't I what? Because the cops...
What, you got a warrant out for your arrest somewhere? You're worried they're going to find out?
Not at all.
Were you drunk?
The cops in New York and quads and dirt bikes don't get along at all. They impound our stuff, and that's why we couldn't get the quad out, because he didn't have valid identification for the quad.
Tell me what happens when it gets impounded. What do you do?
You go down to the town impound.
No, what did you do in this case?
Mr. Falken, you got proper paperwork for the quad? No, I have none. So how can you get the quad out of impound if you don't have valid information
What
for the
day
quad?
did it get impounded?
I can't exactly tell you which day that was.
Are you saying that you called Mr. Forken the day it got impounded?
No, I did not.
When did you call him and talk to him about it?
Weeks later.
Weeks later, you called him?
Yes. When he showed up at my job.
Okay, but that's months later, not weeks later, that he shows up at your shop.
Yes, he had already spoken to me.
Okay, so you never called him to tell him it got impounded, I need paperwork, this is the department it's at, you never did that?
Yes, and that's how I knew I could not get the quad out.
No, but see, your timing's off, because according to you, you give him the quad when?
Second week in December.
And then according to you, you go to see him at your...
April or late April.
Okay, so we're talking about 5 months later, not weeks. Is that correct?
That's when he came to my job, yes.
Okay, but then you also just said a minute ago that after he came to your job, you said, okay, let's get it out, and he didn't have the appropriate paperwork.
No, before that, he had already spoken to me and knew that.
Okay.
And then when he came to my job...
How did he know that? When did you notify him it had been impounded? I'll ask my question again.
A couple weeks later, that's all I know.
A couple of weeks later. Can you prove that you ever contacted him? Because if he goes to your job, it kind of sounds like the kind of guy who hasn't heard from you and needs to surprise you at your job, which you admit he goes to your job.
Yeah, absolutely.
So tell me how it is that a couple weeks later, you call him. Show me the proof of that. Show me your phone records where you're calling him a couple weeks later.
I don't have him. I'd like to see his proof of ownership with the quad.
Oh, well, we do know that he owns it more than you do, right? And we know that he entrusted it in your care. And we know that if maybe you had been timely, maybe somebody could have gotten it out in time before
Can't get it out without paperwork.
Excuse me, did I breathe and give you the impression my sentence was over? Because it wasn't. And we do know that you ran away and didn't want anything to do with it, even though you could have walked up and said, it's stuck in the snow, it's 36 inches, I'm allowed to be there. Because maybe it was something more like what he's saying, which is you're riding it at a time when you can't be, and you don't want to get caught. And I don't know. You know, you're not exactly handling the property with. I mean, it's a $2,000 piece of equipment that they entrusted to you. Why don't you handle it with a little? I'm sorry, I'm not done with my question. So put your hand down and wait for me to finish. So why aren't you handling it? He's suing you because he says, now I lost it because you're treating it like it's bubble gum. And why isn't he right? It's a $2,000 piece of equipment that you just said, whoa, and bailed because you didn't want to talk to the police. And then you say, well, I tried to reach him, but it doesn't sound like you did because the guy has to go to your job site to surprise you. That sounds like somebody's trying to reach you and can't reach you. So tell me why it's different than how it looks.
It is what it is. That's exactly what happened.
But you can't prove a drop of it, right?
He
you
can't prove that he owns the quad.
You can't prove...
He can't prove he owns the quad.
Well, if somebody impounds my chair, how do you prove that something that doesn't require registration?
It comes with a valid identification. Yes, it does. It comes with a transferable registration that every owner receives when they resell a quad. Absolutely. Every all-terrain vehicle comes with it.
Says who?
Says that you go buy one right now. You'll get a registration card.
The question is not
That's
do
how
they
you get it at
exist.
impound.
This was a quad that was how old?
20 years old.
Right.
92.
The question is not does a registration exist when you go buy a quad right now. The question is...
It existed then.
Excuse me, what is your problem? The question is, are you required, like a motor vehicle, to register it? But it doesn't matter, because if the bottom line is that if 3 months pass, which I don't even understand how 3 months pass, I guess you had no other way to reach him, you didn't know where he lived?
He never answered his phone. And that's when I came to this part.
Okay.
So
I think you've been too reasonable.
I tried.
You don't need to keep proving how reasonable you are. I think you've been too reasonable. All right. The thing is that, the value of the item is not necessarily what your son paid for it at a certain date and time. And by the way, I'm sorry about your son. I don't know how long he's going to be in, but I'm sure that as parents, this is difficult for you. The issue is, what's the market value of it now, and the market value of that item is $1,500. So and as far as I'm concerned, if you walk away from a quad because you don't feel like getting arrested for whatever you're worried about you're going to get arrested for, then I guess you walked away from a quad, and now you're responsible for it because you left the machinery behind. I don't believe that you called him. I think you're a bold-faced liar about that. And if you called him several weeks later, it was already a problem anyway, because now we have all kinds of administrative costs, if that did happen, which I don't think it did. So I'm finding in favor of the plaintiff in this case in the amount of $1,500 plus your court costs. Good luck, folks.
Thank you.
And so with that, the defendant comes out into the hallway here. What's your thought on this outcome?
Well, it is what it is.
Right. You don't come out looking very good in the whole scenario. Can you clean up the way this came out for you?
It's exactly how it happened.
Why didn't you respond to the guy when he was reaching out to you and trying to work it out?
Because he had called me drunk one time, and I didn't like that.
That's pretty much ended your efforts with him?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right. Right around this way. Okay.
Thank you. Take care.
You too. All right. Step on in here. All right. So that's your son's friend?
Yes. Was my son's friend.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So how do you feel about the way you handled this thing?
It came out all right. I did what I had to do, and he thinks somebody was just going to donate him this money, and I wasn't going to donate.
You think he was You think he was trying to take advantage of you?
Oh yeah, he never called me. I think he got the money and he kept it. To be honest with you.
Mm-hmm. Harvey, what do you think?
So what you get when somebody damages or loses your property is the depreciated value at the time of the loss. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This episode is sponsored by Friskies, who would like to tell your cats hi. Now, if that didn't get your cat's attention, there is one thing that always does the trick. Just pour some Friskies crunchy food in the bowl and you'll hear those paws come running. Works every time. With so many Friskies choices, you can always bring your cats running from their secret napping spots. There's always more to explore. See for yourself at Friskies.com or visit your local store.
This is the plaintiff, Gabriella Williams. She says the defendant, a good friend of hers, owes her money for an unpaid loan. The woman has 1,000,001 excuses for not paying her. And good friend or not, money is money, and she needs hers back. She's suing for $1,080, the amount she's owed. This is the defendant, Shatima Pelzi. She says she started paying the plaintiff back, but had to miss 1 week's payment because of an emergency. She told the plaintiff she'd pay her double the amount the next week, but the girl got mad and told her, take the money and shove it where the sun don't shine. She's done so much for the plaintiff, but since the woman told her to take the money and shove it, she doesn't owe her anymore. The end. She's accused of failing a friend.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the plaintiff loaned a good friend money and got stiffed. The defendant says the plaintiff told her to take the money and stick it where the sun don't shine, so she thinks she got a pass for the rest. It's the case of the sun also rises.
Thank you, Douglas.
welcome,
Okay,
ma'am.
Gabriella Williams, you are suing Shatima Pelsi for $1,080, the balance of a loan that you say you made to her that she has refused to repay. Tell me what's going on.
Okay, I knew Shatima since 2008. We met working back in Sears. And basically her boyfriend had got arrested, which is the person that she brought here as a witness.
What did he get arrested for?
Oh, he got arrested because he was reckless endangerment.
To?
Driving.
Okay, go ahead.
So she needed help with bailing him out. And also, I'm her godson's mother, so I would go
You're her
above-
godson's...
Her
son's godmother. Okay.
So I would go far and beyond for him, and she knows that for a fact. So I loaned her $1,300 in a promise that she would pay me back by June 1st so I could pay for my tuition for school. And she made that promise, and obviously she didn't keep it. It was like 2 payments that she made to me, one on Chase Quick Pay, and the other was in cash. And every other time...
So how much total did she pay?
$220.
So what was the first payment?
The first payment was $120.
And then the next payment?
$100.
Okay. And then what happened?
Every time I would try to meet up with her to get the money, mind you, I'm the one that's going to pick it up. It would be an excuse. Oh, I got into it with my significant other. Now I'm in the hospital. My leg is swollen. Or it would be, oh, I have something going on today. It would just be, it's always an excuse. So I got sick of it, and I decided to go to small claims court to handle the situation because obviously we couldn't handle it as adults.
How long have you guys been friends?
Since 2008.
And you're the godmother of her baby?
Yes.
Like not just like tucky godmother. You're actually the godmother of her baby.
Went through the church and everything.
Wow.
And I played my role to the most
What's
of my
going
ability.
on? Basically, she didn't lend me the money. She told me that she was going to give me the money, $1,000. I asked her for $300. All I owed her was $80.
Wait, what? I didn't understand what you just said.
Okay, she lent me. She told me, I asked her, I was asking people for money to bail my boyfriend out of jail. She was like, I'm tired of you asking people for the money. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna give you $1,000.
You asked her for $300 and she insisted on giving you $1,000 and
Yes.
you're not supposed to pay anything back?
She gave me $300. I was going to give her back $80. I gave her $220 already.
What are you saying? Because none of that is what you said in your answer to the complaint. What did she give/loan you?
She gave me
$1,300 or
Yes.
$300?
She gave me $1,300.
So why you keep saying $300?
I feel like I don't have to pay her back $1,080. Well, I don't have to pay her back the whole $1,000.
Why not?
Because she told me that I can keep the money and shove it up my behind.
Oh, okay. So, but was it a gift or was it a loan when it first happened?
It was, she just gave it to me. She never told me anything else.
But how is that true and then you're paying it back?
I told her I would give her the money when I have it. I told her I'd pay her every Thursday.
So then it's not a gift. It's something you're supposed to pay back. And then one fine day she gets sick of chasing you and she tells you to shove it up your ex. And then, so you feel that's a legal excuse to not finish paying?
No, I was going to give her back the money. I told her I would give her back the money. She took it upon herself to do what she wanted to do. She didn't want me to give her the money, so I said, okay, no problem.
Wait, what did she take it upon herself to do?
When you say you can stick the money and shove it up your behind, does that make it a gift?
It's a gift.
Does that make it a gift?
Yeah.
Does that make it a gift?
It's kind of a statement of anger. Both. It's a gift and an anger. It's anger.
But is it a gift?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Going inside the courtroom.
She kept telling people, oh, I'm not gonna, you know what, I'm not gonna sit here. I'm not gonna ask her for the money. I told her, I'm gonna give you the money. I will meet you somewhere to give you the money. I have no problems.
Yeah, but you didn't give her the money. You didn't mail her the money. You didn't give her the money. Right? That's why I'm here, because you stopped paying the money. So how come what you're saying
When a person tells you...
Why don't you get up and come over here? Because I love the fact that, you know, she's sitting here floundering alone while you're sitting there relaxing. Yeah, all right. I don't understand. So her good friend, godmother to your kid?
Yes.
Okay. Does you guys a favor and bails you out and has to sue you to get paid?
I think it was like she didn't hurry up and pay it. Like she couldn't wait, so she had one and did it at the.
This is from June. Don't you have like any shame? You don't have any sense of, oh my gosh, you know, in our time of need, this is the place we went to, and it's only right. Like, do you?
Yeah,
are you
but I'm
like
saying
religious or spiritual at all? Do you believe in karma? Anything?
Yeah, I believe in karma. Yep.
Believe in karma? So do you not see that when you didn't want to keep your hiney in jail, the person who made that possible was her, so you're not being very grateful by suspending the payments and not hustling to pay her back like you said you would? You don't see how that's wrong?
I was going to give her back the money.
I love that phrase. I was going to give her back the money. Can you make a deposit with that phrase? No, right? Can you pay bills with that phrase? No, right?
One of the excuses I was given was that her significant other was trying to come up with the money.
Have you learned your lesson about doing this kind of thing?
And that's why I ended the friendship. We've went through different things.
That's great. Now your son doesn't have a godmother.
During our friendship, we went through different things during our friendship.
Why are you so ungrateful?
So
tell me how I'm wrong. Tell me how I'm wrong that you're not just two horrible, ungrateful people. Tell me.
I'm not at all. Am I ungrateful?
And yet you have paid how much between June and now?
If I was trying to, I was trying to pay her.
No, I don't know what that means. Even if you get into a fight with her, she doesn't want a payment plan. She didn't sue you till now. And in all these months, you haven't paid jack. So tell me how you're not just ungrateful.
When a person keeps texting you and telling you they don't want the money back, I'm going to keep my money. I'm going to pay what I have to pay.
Okay, I want to make sure that all of her friends just heard that, so that the next time he ends up in jail, no one loans her the money for the bail.
All she gave me was $1,000.
That's all.
$1,300. What did you do?
That's it. $1,300. What did you do?
I had the rest.
Yeah. Wow. That $1,300's nothing. So then I imagine you could pay her right away, right? Just stop, because I really want to get out of here and take a shower. $1,080. Verdict for the plaintiff. Pay the lady.
It's the defendant right here coming out after losing this case. What's your reaction to how this story looks? How it looks?
It's okay. It's all right. It's no problem. I don't need her as a friend either. It is what it is.
Well, do you appreciate that she came through for you when you needed it?
No, I'd have stayed in there.
Really?
Yeah, really.
No, yeah.
Well,
would have kept him in there. We don't need her. It is what it is.
Okay. All right, right down this way, okay? All right, head right down there. Good luck. All right, step on in here. What are you smiling about?
I get my money.
What about the rest of the story? You lose a friend.
Well, obviously it wasn't meant to be. I don't hold nothing against her. And the part that I feel bad about is my godson, because at the end of the day, I still love him to death, and I wish him well, so.
You were willing to jettison her and the godson.
I have no choice, because that's just how.
And the lesson out of all this for you?
Of course. I'll never make that type of commitment ever again.
All right. What do you got, Harvey?
So here's the deal. If you loan somebody money, you have to have a clear statement for it to convert into a gift, period.